We were introduced to lots of different characters and people that are also taking this magic exam with us, which was pretty cool. I don't remember half of their names or anything because they all just kind of flash up and there's no real reason for me to kind of grasp on to that. However, we're in the middle of two big battles and some things going on. So very excited to kind of see what they decide to do here. I don't know if they plan to go all out and just make it like an insane visual spectacle for us here, or if it's just gonna kind of be Fern overwhelms the other people because she's just kind of OP, and FRIEREN is able to just like work together with her team and kind of escape in ways. And to the point that we just end this episode or early next episode, it'll be like the end of whatever the first act of this exam kind of is. That's kind of almost where I feel like that we'd end up heading. But I am interested because we do get to meet somebody like Denkin last time, who was like very smart in the way that he calculated absolutely everything that was kind of going down and was going to happen. Ultimately, to a point that like I don't know, things worked out really well for him. At least he was able to get somebody else a part of his team to be able to like teleport themselves over there and find FRIEREN and everybody the moment that things ended up kind of going down here, and they captured their bird. So in this moment now, what he's going to do or how him and his team are going to kind of go on the offensive and be able to surround them and try and take them, because I'm like 90% sure that neither of our two groups are going to end up losing their bird. And if so, I guess it would be FRIEREN's group. I just find it hard to believe Fern would, because Fern's got some killers on her team. So I find it hard to believe they just willingly would let that kind of happen. So I'm excited to see where we head here. If you like it, I'll like and subscribe to me. Honestly, may feel free to stick around for the discussion. Leave me comments. This better series is a Toho animation show. It will be blocked at some point. Some of these have been getting blocked before I can even get the video uploaded. So if the audio is muted all the way through, or if there is no reaction, please check the link in the description or comments, and you'll be able to still watch the reaction at some other point there. Let's get going though with FRIEREN episode 20. Ah, yes, my queen. Look at her just fucking backing people down without even trying. Look at those eyes, dude. They do things to me. Holy fuck. And he's so happy to be bleeding. You guys are perfect for each other. Just having some fun. I doubt it. I guess I'll fucking kill you. The speed, Fern. This girl's different. Mmm. Yeah, there's none on her face either. All right, nice and easy. I love it. I love it. Let's not make it anything crazy. Necessary killing. Hmm. Oh, along with the cage. Hmm. You're gonna do this anyways. So don't look at me. All right. He just wants the bird, dude. So you're gonna hand over the bird and then you're gonna fucking attack him, aren't you? Hmm. Hmm. Good luck, brother. I love it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, if you can't see me, then all right, I'll do it next time. Give us some backstory before you kill me. Proper standoff. Hmm. Damn. It's just our job. Uh, your story bores me. We're really holding this. No. He's never had any intention to. Hmm. Hmm. Have to build yourself up. Everyone I've had to, though. What's up, Fern? Yeah, that shit was easy. Yep. So the same one. Gotcha. I love the sound of that. So I guess I lost. So you have no reason to fight, right? Yep. And Fern didn't kill her. Well, I have no reason to. Yeah. I'm not gonna kill you though. Yeah. Oh fuck, the boys are really going at it, huh? What the fuck is that, dude? No, no, no. Hmm. I love how it's just floating around. I'm by the books, buddy. And after I learn, I fuck him up. It's just like a boxer. That's really cool, though. I love this shit. We haven't started. Wow. What the fuck? Hmm. I've been here the whole time. Yeah. I fucks with him. We got you to back off. I like her hair. She was too much. Ordinary. Holy fuck. I think you have to. I thought she was weak. Imagine what she'd do if she had some other shit, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we gotta make a new plan. I love when they do that. Nah, he'll carry you. It's in the OP. I didn't seen it. I didn't seen it in the OP. There we go. Huh. Aw. Somebody's gotta fucking walk. Just got outmatched, dude. The rain got through. Oh, outside. It's hitting the barrier. How's it going on FRIEREN's end, though? Unless just somehow walk upon one. Is that kindness the reason you fight demons? Wow. I don't even need to be one. Oh, you found one? Quick, bro. Just do it. Do your thing. And you can win. Just act quick. Perfect. I love how he's still just floating. Why am I fucking bleeding? Just waiting for you to move. Oh, the boy's here too. Just trying to steal your shit. She took our bird. Well, so she can teleport. Or she's just stupidly fast. Oh. Hmm. Why must we kill everyone? It's still not good. Hmm. Luck is a skill. Wow. He's got something that he's probably doing behind the scenes. Yeah. Gotcha. Hmm. Apparently. Good luck, guys. Unless you just want to kill each other, but let's police not do. Oh fuck. Yeah, we have the bird already. I never got that impression. Imperial Mage. Mm. Yeah, but he's calculating when he does. He doesn't just go up and fucking ruthlessly kill them, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. Ah, is that the dude we've been seeing? Oh, no. Mm. Wow. She's like present day Flam. Yeah. So this is very important. Hence the reason why we're okay with having people die and be killed for it, because the privilege is so great that you don't want the wrong people to have it in their hands. But I agree, it's kind of dumb. All right. We are not killing. Oh. Oh, fuck. He erupts the ground for sure, dude. Yeah. All right, good luck. One on one. It's begun. Let's go. You know what I find to be the most interesting thing about this episode? I think it's the idea of how many people seem to be against the idea of just like killing people, or I guess just like using others in as like stepping stones in a way, using them by killing them to kind of get around to get past them. And how many it almost feels like are trying to find necessary ways to just do things to kind of immobilize others or to take issue with the way that the fight, I guess here, not the fight, the test and the exam and everything is kind of being presented, in which that we are almost expected to kill each other. And how many of the characters do seem to have issue with that and don't think that it's right to kill women or children or to kill just anyone or any mages or anybody who's just literally trying to pass this, right? Like, it's so interesting because realistically, we built up a lot of characters as if they don't give a fuck, specifically like Yuel, and then have her in a situation here where like she is kind of defenseless and isn't able to do anything, and then we put her against the guy who almost is outwardly presenting himself like he is basically the male version of her, and then he isn't at all, and you find out a lot about him and the reasons why he feels the way that he kind of does, and then even later when we get the whole dialogue with Denkin and the way that he kind of feels and constantly yelling at the other guy in his group of not wanting to kill people and not seeing necessary purpose in it, and the stupidity almost that comes along with simply just gaining one sort of thing and gaining one sort of spell that you can get from becoming a first class mage. So it's interesting to me because typically I feel like you encounter a large amount of people or even just like a small group of people who are very for killing, and for the fact that we weren't able to necessarily find a few of those people. And I don't know, like the whole thing with Yubel in her situation, did she specifically attacked him and went after his eyes, and even he said, if you wanted to kill me, you should have just went straight to my neck. Is it more of we were seeing a side of her that maybe necessarily she doesn't want to do that as well? And she's also on the side where she's not trying to kill, despite the way that she's been kind of presented. And maybe she does like to fight, and she likes to say these things of how she likes this, she has to battle to the death and stuff. But it's because it gives her excuses and gives her reasons as a way of like, I'm self defense in a way, or I'm fighting to kind of keep myself alive here. But even in this situation, she was just trying to harm him and do these things to kind of stop him, but maybe didn't have any intention of killing him. And maybe that's a wrong read entirely. And maybe she literally just did. And it's just like, maybe she isn't as I don't know the right word, smart, I guess, like to immediately realize this is the smartest way for me just to kill this person. And instead, she just tried to take him out to kind of eliminate the magic and the things that he could kind of do. I wonder, but it's interesting because it almost feels like a large amount of the people actually don't want to be involved with the killings or anything, which we end up seeing from the guy who's almost, I guess, proctoring this entire thing, who kind of expects that and expects so many people to be killed. And same thing with, I don't remember her name. Let me pull it up. Is it Sari, however you say it. Her, the other elf girl that we get introduced to, almost seems to be similar in that way, and the reasons why this whole organization and everything kind of started and was created in a way to kind of find these mages and these people who were remains of after the Demon King, whole situation, the golden age in which that we kind of went through occurred, and find the remains of these mages and these powerful people who almost might not have a reason to constantly get stronger and become what they once were, and find those people who have kind of reach like the pinnacle of their craft here, and give them rewards in that sort of way. And that's why she is so okay with killing them, as we kind of explore the idea behind later on of him, even the other guy, thinking that it's okay for people to kind of die, and he thinks that it's okay because anybody who is qualified and is worthy of being first class as a mage wouldn't actually die in the situation. They wouldn't put themselves in that position, or they would just kind of come out on top if they were to be in a fight in one of these situations, which I think is really, I don't know, it's just really interesting to note just the night and day difference that a lot of these people kind of have, where the people, and it makes sense, the people within the organization themselves specifically see all these reasons and these things of, this is why this makes sense, this is why I'm doing this, and I have plenty of these things like these rewards and these unlimited types of spells and these things, and I'm going to kind of use this test as a way to kind of eliminate those who are strong but not strong enough, or not worthy of kind of possessing these things that can be kind of world altering in some sort of way, right? Which makes no sense, because our elf girl here actually has like all the authority and power in a way. It seems like that she could do absolutely everything, and she's choosing to not kind of rid the world of like all these things, and she's just kind of sitting back and allowing others to kind of dictate and take things in the way that they want, and while she's just kind of granting them these special things. So it's interesting to kind of see where I guess she lies kind of fence it, and almost and I'm interested, I guess, to maybe meet or learn a little bit more when it kind of comes to her. But it, like I said, makes sense that all these people on the inside kind of have been built up and brought into understanding, the ways that this works. And of course, the people on the outside that almost don't have a reason, I guess. Like we have other situations where characters clearly don't want to end up killing. I mean, like FRIEREN could have and chose not to, right? Like, and we have multiple other situations that we can kind of use as examples for it. But specifically having two people who are we bring up like Denkin, and we bring up the idea of how old he is and why he's even taking this, and it makes no sense. But also bringing up the idea behind, we have built him as somebody who has like lots of influence and has lots of work within like the political world and a bunch of other stuff, that he may have necessary reason for taking this, whether it's status or whether it's to obtain something that he really needs or he wants, or something that allows him to gain influence or whatever. But it seems like, because he is very calculating and has this stuff, he has this sort of plan and these things that he has set out, that he needs to kind of obtain something while he's ended up participating within this. But noting specifically of how old he is and why he would decide to do it now as opposed to previous times in his life, and why it's so important at this stage in his life. Same thing with FRIEREN, of somebody who's been around for so long. Why would an elf specifically need to take this right now as opposed to others? Now that makes sense because it's only been around for 50 years, and of course she didn't know it, and as viewers we fully understand that. But it's the same thing of like why she would feel the need to necessarily go out of her way and actually do this if she spent her entire life, not caring for status or any of these sort of things. And she didn't even seem to know beforehand that, she could obtain something special by kind of being involved in this and actually becoming a first class mage and gaining that sort of privilege. So it's just a note that these older people who have experienced and seen things throughout the world a lot more, and kind of have been, it seems, almost involved in a lot of different stuff, can kind of see the and I don't know the right word, that's why I called it stupid earlier, but I guess like the stupidity almost in what exactly is kind of being set forward here, and what exactly this entire association kind of is brought together and created within this exam, and what they're trying to kind of obtain by creating and refining these mages. mages. Now, I do wonder if the elf that we bring up at the end, kind of overseeing all this stuff, is actually the one that we specifically referred to with FRIEREN saying beforehand that she lost to her, or lost to this person before. That would make sense to me if we kind of want to go down that route and kind of reintroduce that. Also, just the shot that we got where we directly talk about this person and then we pan to FRIEREN for a moment. Well, it didn't seem that she was like completely caught off guard and shocked and scared or any of those sort of things and had like this crazy reaction. Still, the decision by director, or even probably within the manga too, to specifically pan to FRIEREN while this other person's talking and not just kind of focus on them or just cut away immediately, just tells me a little bit that she may have history or may kind of understand or know this person from something, whether it is in the past, whether it is this fight that she ends up claiming that she lost before, whatever it is, may have some sort of connection there. I love this sequence of just us starting off and Yuel just kind of walking them down, and you know, the dead look in her eyes and everything. And God, we need more of her. We actually need so much more of her. Like I'm down horrendous. My entire timeline on Twitter has been just filled with fucking art from her, and I've been here for it completely. This is fantastic too, just overwhelming of her, and no emotion or anything on her face either, and just constantly. And we get to see the aftermath later on too, which is fucking insane to me, of how powerful and just strong and confident and just everything that she is, which I think is fantastic. Getting this moment and then just kind of getting some backstory between Buddy in this exact moment here, behind why he won't kill her right away, you know, the way that he feels, the things that he's kind of always been through on the battlefield and having to face against all these women and different children and stuff, and how he doesn't take pride in kind of wanting to do this, but him being able to not necessarily kill them right away and taking his time to talk and taking his time to kind of cage them here and just like buying as much time as he kind of can allows him to, in his insides, learn a little bit more about them, but also just kind of take into like a chance like to hype himself up almost to, not, I guess the hype's not the right word, but like just get himself to a point that he can feel comfortable or confident that he is, what he is doing is necessary in convincing himself, which I think is probably necessary, right? For somebody who definitely doesn't want to do it. It's not on site for these people, right? It's reassuring yourself that what you are doing is putting yourself down the correct path, even if you necessarily disagree with it, and letting the guiding voice kind of above you almost be the person who dictates and allows you to kind of follow that path within your life, within that voice being his own conscious in himself here in this situation. But it's like one of those things I almost kind of read it as, which is really fun, I guess, for us to be able to see that in the scale that somebody like him can kind of work at, because it makes plenty of sense that it isn't easy for you just to kind of do these things and immediately justify it. So pausing and buying and taking time here in these moments works really well. And Yubel even talks about in this moment that she talks about how she needed to buy her time for herself because there's literally nothing that she could do. So of course, being able to buy that time so far and can kind of come, the immediate mention that not being able to censor because her mana is so suppressed, and him being able to kind of talk about that, Fern being so quick to just lie and say that she actually ended up killing this other girl, which we know isn't true. And even in that moment, definitely knew that that wasn't true. Even Yubel in that moment immediately knew it wasn't true. But it's just fun to note, you know, how quick that she is on her feet and being able to do this. And she's definitely a fucking force. I get more nervous, like, I know FRIEREN's like OP and we should, you know, just expect her to kind of defeat people and not have all these issues and stuff, but something about FRIEREN, just the way that she like approaches absolutely everything, just like she's just a menace, dude. Like, it scares me. This is such a fun fight. Being able to, this dude's ability here, being able to kind of form things through like the use of like the metal and everything, like he was saying, and just, it's so cool to me, just the everything floating around him, and then him kind of just bringing stuff together and creating different weapons and things like of attack between them. Also us getting attacked here and just kind of being so calm with it and figuring out that Buddy can create clones and stuff, and he's always been here, and it's hard to kind of, I guess, detect him or whoever it is that he is, and being able to put him out from that. It's really, really fun to actually see him and see somebody of like kind of this ability, and I'm interested to maybe learn a little bit more about him going forward. We end up figuring out that she isn't dead, of course, which, I mean, as you see the fucking aftermath here, Buddy kind of has to just believe that she was overwhelmed, and like us carrying her and then having to pick him up and just letting him kind of float. Also just the mention of this dome and the rain kind of hitting it on the outside is kind of just like his own mental state. It's almost like having to create a barrier to kind of protect yourself while everything else is just kind of like a mess on the outside, which I love. Learning a little bit about backstory and reasons for why he kind of goes out of his way and does things. We specifically avoid showing of eyes and everything here and like full face of this girl. Makes me wonder, have we met this person or seen this person before? I don't necessarily know. For whatever reason, I also weirdly feel like it's that the girl that we see at the back end who's in charge of the second exam, but like I feel like that would be completely wrong. But at the same time, who the fuck knows? It might not be the case. Us being able to capture the bird initially too, just like find one randomly and just get lucky too, is great. So we know that they all will be progressing to the next stage. The only issue with them going to the next stage is we don't see them as like a threat that's kind of posed to us. So if we are just fighting, which we've built this entire thing to be up to something that like almost we will be targeting each other, causing a third of us to only be remaining. And, you know, we've talked about before how so many don't end up passing or anything by the end. I'm assuming that we will have to go at it with each other. It just makes these three a little less of threats almost. It almost feels like that, but I'm not too certain. But also this just feels like the year where like everybody's gonna get fucking through, like it's gonna be just like a different one, right? This is the girl that I was talking about just a moment ago there, who's in charge of our second exam, which we end up figuring out, which is pretty cool. And then we explore some of the thoughts and the things that I was talking about earlier before we started going through this. Nice to know Denkin knows about FRIEREN and, you know, her the things, you know, her accomplishments and everything that she's kind of gone over. Buddy here, we have just polar opposites. One person doesn't want to kill people and just kind of wants to bypass time. The other one just wants to completely get rid of them, because if you lose a party member, they don't have to kind of pursue you anymore, and we can just kind of hide out for the last couple of hours. So it's just very clear differences about what each of the people kind of want and the way that each of them kind of view things and operate. And Denkin, this makes perfect sense for him, of course. I mean, we see the way that he's operated the entire time up to this. He seems to not want to confront people and actually kind of be involved in these sort of situations. So to me, it makes sense that he wouldn't want to actually be involved in fighting or anything, which unfortunately he has to at some point against FRIEREN, but he also has no intention of actually killing her or anything. It's just kind of to buy himself time and prolong this even longer so that that girl can get further and further away to the point that they won't be able to catch them, and they'll be plenty set to advance to our next round. We introduce Sari, and she is the fucking god basically at this point, which is pretty cool to note. She's basically like Flam, but like elf, present day, almost, it seems like, where she just like knows fucking like absolutely everything, which I think is pretty cool. She's also able to pass along these things and kind of give out like unlimited, like all these different spells, and actually know her fucking everything, which is just such a cool thing to be able to have. It raises questions as to what she actually does or, you know, uses with them. If maybe she doesn't even know the spells herself, but she can just kind of like teach them or give them the books and stuff, like, so that they can learn themselves. I don't fucking know, but it is interesting the reasons why she goes behind it and, you know, chooses to do the things that she does, and why everybody else views the privilege of kind of becoming these first class mages, but also why we're trying to restrict it to so little, and actually only have the absolute fucking best of the best, which at this point Buddy uses his fucking ground magic and causes everybody be on different levels here, so that FRIEREN can't really just kind of immediately come to their help, so the two girls kind of be on their own here while these two have to go at it next time. I'm assuming next time will be like fucking some crazy shit in a fight between these two, because while Denkin doesn't seem to be the fighter type that they immediately present him as, he probably can be, and he probably conceals that to a certain extent. So I'm excited, I guess, to see really how far he goes. Well, we're not too worried about FRIEREN's own ability. I guess maybe we should be, because of the way that she presented it at the beginning, but like I'm not, but I don't think that necessarily she's going to lose. My main concern is that she's going to be held off for too long, and they're just going to struggle to be able to go out of their way and actually catch one of the birds. But I think they'll be able to find one, and there won't be an issue there. Very fun, lovely episode. Not exactly what I was expecting, but I guess makes sense. It's like similar to when we had the aura fight, where I thought that we were gonna have like some fucking crazy shit, but instead it was like really simplistic and simple. So I wonder if we do go that route, I guess, next time. But I thought that was gonna happen again here this time, and that didn't end up happening. So interesting. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you liked it all, like and subscribe to me, not to me. Feel free to check out the other videos on the channel. Let me comments with this better series. I will be back next time for episode 21. You guys have a good one though. Peace.